guys, welcome back to the Octagon Channel. As always, we'll be bringing you the biggest news from the fight world. Tune in and enjoy. Don't forget to like and subscribe to keep up with all the latest, and here we are. Just when you thought it was safe to exhale, and UFC 313 was going to start later this evening without any last-minute shenanigans, the illness bug has struck again. Less than 3 hours away. From the start of the Las Vegas, Nevada-based event, UFC issued a last-second fight card update, announcing that the heavyweight tilt between Curtis Blaydes versus Rizvan Kuniev was off because of a razor illness. The fight was earmarked to be the featured prelims attraction. Meanwhile, John Castaneda stepped up on short notice to fight Chris Gutierrez at 145 pounds on UFC 313's early prelims undercard, but withdrew because on an illness too. This is another rough break for Castaneda, who was supposed to fight last week at UFC Vegas 103, but had his opponent fail his pre-fight medical evaluation. Magomed Ankalaev nearly drops hesitant Alex Pereira, wins title after back-and-forth battle. Coming into this fight, Poatan stood tall as a modern legend. A two-division champion who, in just 3.5 years with UFC, has cemented his legacy with 3 jaw-dropping knockout defenses of his 205-pound title in 2024 alone. Yet tonight's challenge was unlike any he faced this year. Indeed, a clash against Ankalaev, a masterful Sambo practitioner with slick boxing skills, who brought a unique threat to the mat that Pereira's recent striker-heavy opponents couldn't match. Ankalaev, who has cast a long shadow over Pereira's reign, stepped into the spotlight after navigating a rocky road of rematches and a draw with Jan Blachowicz, ready to prove he's the one to dethrone the king. Ankalaev's methodical win was in stark contrast to the fireworks seen in Pereira's previous title fights, which drew some criticism from their fellow fighters and fans. Ankalaev defended his tactics at the evening's post-fight press conference, putting the onus on Poatan for not engaging.
It was very different from what we envisioned because, as you know, usually Pereira hunts for the finish. He moves forward, he tries to hunt down his opponents for the finish. Here, it was very different, as you can see. He was running away from me. He wasn't letting me work, and he himself wasn't really working much. So you saw the way it played out.
The championship-winning scores for Ankalaev were a pair of 48s to 47s and a 49 to 46, with several of the rounds appearing to be toss-ups in the moment. MMA Fighting scored the contest 48 to 47 for Pereira. In Ankalaev's opinion, the outcome was never in doubt, and he again pointed to what he perceived to be hesitance on Pereira's part as to why no one should be complaining about the result.
I was confident. I kept on moving forward. I kept pressuring him, and he kept on running away from me. For 20 minutes, this guy was running away from me. Then I heard at the end of the fight, he was saying that he wasn't sure why the victory was given me. Who's supposed to be given the victory? I've been pressuring him the entire time. He was running for 20 minutes, and then he's wondering who's supposed to get the victory. Listen, I'm happy for a rematch if he wants a rematch. But then maybe in the rematch, he can fight for real and not just run away the entire time.
É isso aí, pessoal. Algumas marcas. Bom, mas estou bem. Descansar um pouco. Já estou voltando, né? Como eu sempre fiz. Já aconteceu algumas vezes isso comigo, mas, eu estou bem, né? Agradeço todo o apoio de vocês, né? Com todo o carinho, sempre me apoiando. Estou recebendo muitas mensagens também de grande incentivo. Estou aqui com o pessoal, minha família, meu time, meus filhos, tá todo mundo aqui, todo mundo comendo aqui. Aí, ó, a gente pediu umas pizzas e é isso, né? Vida que segue. Obrigado a todo mundo, né? Obrigado ao meu time. E é isso, pessoal. Fazer essa revanche aí e ajustar algumas coisas, né? E voltar muito melhor. Pode esperar isso, tá bom, pessoal? E é isso. Nunca desista dos seus sonhos. Chama!
Justin Gaethje is officially back. After a devastating knockout loss in his previous outing against Max Holloway at UFC 300, Gaethje had a lot to prove in his return to action, and it's safe to say he silenced a whole lot of doubters. Gaethje showed no fear engaging with Rafael Fiziev across all 15 minutes, and he even scored a devastating knockdown with a huge uppercut in the second round that helped him secure the fight. When it was over, all three judges had it 29-28 for Gaethje, who returns to the win column while also moving to 2-0 against Fiziev to cap off the UFC 313 co-main event. Justin Gaethje and Rafael Fiziev should just have a bonus check waiting for them as soon as they enter the octagon. In a rare occurrence, the lightweight fan favorites won Fight of the Night again for their rematch at UFC 313 on Saturday in Las Vegas. The two also earned the award for their first fight at UFC 286 in March 2023. Gaethje won both fights by decision. Mauricio Ruffy just knocked out King Green to spark UFC 313's pay-per-view portion with a spectacular wheel kick to the head. Ruffy came into his matchup with Green, a big minus 500 betting favorite. But even then, it was pretty shocking to see him dispatch Green just 2 minutes into their PPV curtain jerker tonight. From inside T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada Ruffy came out calm and patient, while Green seemed tentative as he tried to figure out the Brazilian's unconventional stance. After a minute of feeling out, Ruffy was the one landing the better shots, leaving Green on the outside, throwing lunging punches that mostly missed. The end came at 2:07 when Ruffy faked a left hand and then spun into a wheel kick that caught Green right on the temple. King went down in a heap and stayed down for a while, out cold. Mauricio Ruffy's spot among post-fight bonus winners was secured long before UFC 313 concluded. Ruffy received a $50,000 performance of the night. Armen Petrosyan pulled a lot of dirty tricks during his UFC 313 fight against Bruno Ferreira this evening in Las Vegas, Nevada, but it didn't save him from getting tapped by the Brazilian fighter halfway through the second round of their middleweight showdown in Sin City. Ferreira was undeterred, though, managing to take Petrosyan's back moments later, leading to a near choke that he then transitioned to an armbar that took Petrosyan's tendons to the limit and forced him to tap. Despite all the shenanigans, Ferreira walked away with the submission win at 4:27 of round 2. Canelo Alvarez is on board with TKO moving into boxing. Earlier this week, UFC CEO Dana White and Turki Alalshik announced they officially signed a deal to launch a new boxing league under the TKO banner.
What's up, guys? We have just done a deal to start a new boxing league with Turkey, who absolutely loves the sport of boxing.
I am very happy today. I give the flag of boxing to the best man who can handle it. He have a tough job now, but I am sure he will be delivering to the people and the fans the magnificent league and get boxing great again.
The model is proven to deliver the fights that the fans want to see. The best will fight the best, and the fighters will continue to move up the rankings and become world champions. We will continue to make announcements on where you can watch and all the rest of the details on the business as we get closer to the launch. I'll see you soon.
While details are sparse on things like who will fight under the banner, the announcement was nonetheless major for the sport of boxing, and Alvarez stands behind it.
I think is the best for the fighters out there. I'm fine with that. I think they're gonna do the best for the fighters. I'm pretty sure about that, and I'm glad somebody take care about the fighters, because there is a lot of promoters who don't take seriously the fighters, and I think this is good for boxing, for the fighters especially.
Alvarez is one of the biggest names currently competing in boxing and recently signed a multi-fight promotional deal with Al-Sheikh. The unified super middleweight champion will next look to become undisputed when he takes on William Skull on May 3rd at the venue Riyadh as part of Riyadh season. Should he prove successful, Canelo even says there's a possibility that his next fight would then be the first marquee event for the TKO brand.
Yeah, always opportunity to fight in September in Las Vegas. You know, that's my days. So, but I need to take care about the May fight first, and then we'll see in September. But yeah, that's the possibility to fight in September in Las Vegas and be the first event for their promoter.
With a record of 62-2-2, Alvarez is still regarded as one of the top pound-for-pound fighters in the sport. He most recently defended his unified titles with a unanimous decision win over Edgar Berlanga in September.